almost 180,000 people have been ordered to leave their homes around Los Angeles as 5 fires continue to burn, 2 of them completely uncontained.
Oh, and look at this.
Let's see what this is.
This whole neighborhood just lovely.
Yo, LA is literally on fire. I'm driving home because somebody said the Hollywood Hills were on fire, and you can literally see the freaking fire in the Hollywood Hills.
Los Angeles is burning, but is it all just a natural disaster? Or could it be something more sinister?
Oprah now commands over 1,000 acres. But here's the twist. Amidst the real estate surge, a sudden fire happens, destroying homes nearby but leaving her vast terrains unscathed.
Y'all won't believe this. A local pilot, and trust me, this is Major T, claims he spotted something super suspicious near where the fire started. Like, could someone actually be behind this whole thing? I'm literally shaking just thinking about it.
And he said, well, I can tell you what happened. I saw this fire when it was very small on the top of the hill. And I said, how small? And he basically opened his arms up, maybe the size of a small Christmas tree. He said, about that big.
Now, hold on to your seats because this gets even juicier. There are people out there who think these fires aren't just random. They're saying it's all part of this massive cover-up involving Hollywood's elite. Can you even? We're talking about rings, buried evidence, and secrets that would make your jaw drop. Like, what kind of dark secrets are hiding in those ashes? And honey, let me tell you, this conspiracy goes deep. Sure, California's always had wildfires, but this time, something feels totally off. The timing is suspicious AF, the eyewitness stories are giving me chills, and darling, don't even get me started on all these questions popping up online. Some people are convinced these aren't just your average environmental disasters. They're saying someone's deliberately burning evidence of some seriously dark stuff. And when I say dark, I mean dark.
First thing that came to mind after that, he said, arson. He's like, there's nobody hiking at 535 on that finger trail. And there's a power line. There are power lines in Runyon Canyon, but they're to the north. And he said, that has to be deliberate.
Get ready for this bombshell because we're diving into everything from alleged rings to land grabs and even, I can barely say it, satanic cults. Today we're spilling all the tea about Hollywood's elite. But first, let me tell you why people are freaking out about how these fires really started. The numbers are absolutely devastating, like my heart literally breaks. In Los Angeles County, can you believe that 179,783 residents were forced to evacuate? These poor souls had to leave their homes with whatever they could grab. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, another 200,000 people were told they might need to evacuate at any moment. But wait, it gets even more heartbreaking. At least 5 people were found dead near the Eaton fire, and they haven't even figured out exactly how they died yet. Sheriff Robert Luna, and I swear I got chills when he said this, warned that more bodies might be found. He said the affected areas looked like they'd been bombed. Like, can you even imagine? Now, honey, let me tell you about the conspiracy theories that are exploding on social media. People are convinced these fires were set on purpose to hide evidence. One post that had me gasping said, this fire was deliberate and all the problems they're now facing was deliberate to hide evidence of rings of Hollywood. Watch Ali Carter. Speaking of Ali Carter, grab your tea because this is where it gets wild. She calls herself a survivor and has been spilling some serious tea about Hollywood's darkest secrets. And her supporters? They're convinced these fires are just another attempt to silence people like her. And the Diddy drama? Oh my word. According to Ali Carter, Diddy isn't just involved in some sketchy behavior. She's claiming he's connected to this whole secret network of Hollywood's most powerful players. She says she experienced things at his parties that would make your skin crawl. We're talking absolutely jaw-dropping activities that I can barely even hint at. Now back to these LA fires because the plot just keeps thickening. Is this all just internet hysteria, or could there actually be something sinister behind the timing? And those claims about deliberate arson? The eyewitness accounts are giving me literal goosebumps.
And he said, well, I can tell you what happened. I saw this fire when it was very small on the top of the hill. And I said, how small? And he basically opened his arms up, maybe the size of a small Christmas tree. He said, about that big. And first thing that came to mind after that, he said, arson. He's like, there's nobody hiking at 535 on that finger trail. And there's a power line. There are power lines in Runyon Canyon, but they're to the north. And he said, And that has to be deliberate.
This totally matches up with other reports, and I'm literally shaking as I tell you this. People spotted mysterious figures near where the fires started. Listen to this tweet that had me screaming, "Law fires are arson. The Hollywood Hills fires are being intentionally set bottom right corner. Tiny figures seen shooting something, possibly a flare, before a fireball is seen in the field before the video ends." I mean, could this be actual proof of arson? And if that wasn't wild enough, there's this viral video showing what looks like a fireball exploding in a field. Like, how suspicious is that? But here's the million-dollar question that's keeping me up at night. Why would Hollywood elites supposedly start these fires? The conspiracy theorists think they've figured it out. They're pointing to all these recent revelations about trafficking rings involving powerful people. With celebrities under the microscope like never before, some think these fires are a calculated move to destroy evidence before investigators get too close. But hold on to your hats because it gets even crazier. Some people are saying these fires are part of this huge satanic agenda. I know, but hear me out. They think it's all about consolidating power and making sure no one can prove what they've done. One post that gave me chills said, "Corrupt Hollywood politicians are taking bribes from these cults in Hollywood that are running trafficking rings. These fires were planned and everything was put in place before the fires so they could rob you, take your children, and scam you." I get it. This sounds absolutely bonkers to some people, but others are like, where there's smoke, there's fire. Literally. Critics are bringing up how fire-damaged land keeps ending up in the hands of wealthy developers. Someone spilled this tea online. Wake up, pay attention. These Hollywood celebrities that are a part of the Satan worship trafficking are starting these fires and buying up land and getting more power, and more children hidden and sold these fires all have similar patterns. But could these fires actually be a sneaky way to push residents out and make way for gentrification? Some conspiracy theorists are convinced these fires are helping the elite grab land and power under the guise of natural disaster recovery. And speaking of land grabs, let me tell you about the Maui fires. This is where it gets really interesting. Countless TikTokers have been pointing fingers at billionaires like Oprah Winfrey, suggesting the fires might be part of some grand scheme to snatch up valuable Maui land from indigenous communities. Let me spill some background tea. 2 years ago, there was this massive wildfire in La'a that left absolute destruction in its wake. Oprah, who owns a mind-blowing 1,000 acres on Maui and basically lives like island royalty, seemed to turn it into her own PR moment. She showed up at a shelter, comforting evacuees, making sure everyone saw her compassionate side. But wait, it gets better. That Sunday, she rolled up to another evacuation center with her CBS camera crew in tow. Can you believe it? But here's the drama. They got turned away. The county had to jump on Facebook to smooth things over, saying she respected their no camera policy. Some people were all, "Oh, Oprah's such an angel," but others weren't buying it. The comment section turned into a total war zone. One person dragged her with, "She needs to stay home. Turning recovery into a media frenzy isn't helping anyone. Billionaires seeking media attention is gross. You are all just fine with her buying up the land and turning recovery into a circus." And another spilled this scalding tea. "This is funny. She burns down Hawaii and then goes to help out. I feel like all the contractors in the area should come together and build all these people new homes before the rich take their land." Now, let's talk about Oprah's Maui empire because it's massive. She's been snatching up land like it's going out of style. We're talking thousands of acres. She's got this gorgeous 2,000-acre farm on Haleakala. That's a dormant volcano, by the way, sitting pretty at 4,000 feet up, plus a private ranch. But wait, there's more. She's got 870 acres of agricultural land spread across Kula, stretching from Haleakala's western slopes all the way to Makawao and Kiane. And just this February, she dropped a casual $6.6 million on even more land in Maui. This Twitter journalist, Nicholas Venan, started asking some pretty shady questions about how Oprah's massive property somehow survived the disaster.
Fire comes across, destroys many homes near where she bought, and her places and her acres remain absolutely untouched.
According to Veneman, Oprah and her fellow elites are allegedly trying to push their selfish agendas of accumulating land by making everyone believe that there is a climate emergency taking place.
They're trying to spread fear, making us believe that we have a climate emergency. Guys, this is nothing but them burying us in regulations.
And let me spill even more tea about this. Back in 2017, there was this devastating wildfire that tore through Montecito. Homes were destroyed everywhere, but get this. Oprah's luxurious mansion, not a single scratch, like it was protected by some magical force field. And what does she do right after? Goes on this massive buying spree, expanding her Montecito estate to a jaw-dropping 70 acres. People were absolutely buzzing about how miraculous it was that her property survived while others lost everything. And the timing of her property grab? Sus. Totally sus. Some are calling it strategic maneuvering, and honestly, I can't blame them. One person dropped this bombshell comment. It's not climate fires, they're direct energy weapons. But hold on to your seats because another internet sleuth posted this unverified list that's got everyone talking. It named some of Hollywood's biggest power players. We're talking Bill Gates, Will Smith, Jeff Bezos, Morgan Freeman, Lady Gaga, Julia Roberts, and guess what they all had in common? Their properties supposedly survived the fires without a scratch. Like, what are the odds? Then, this writer came through with even more drama, trying to connect Hawaiian Senator Brian Schatz to these A-listers. They tweeted, Hawaii Senator Brian Schatz can't even hide his smirk as Maui burned he's seeing dollar signs for huge Democrat donors, Oprah, Zuckerberg, other billionaires who will scoop up the land and steal it from native-born Hawaiians.
Senator, it's great to have you under awful circumstances. And like I said to Senator Hirono last night, everybody I've talked to and seen is thinking about folks in Hawaii and pulling for you.
I mean, that smirk on the senator's face, it's giving suspicious vibes. The writer didn't stop there, adding, Maui is being looted by billionaires. The fire, don't ask who started. It will lead to one of the largest land grabs in history. Now, I have to tell you about Oprah's attempt to help fire victims on August 10th, 2023. She was filmed handing out supplies at War Memorial Stadium in Maui, talking about how rebuilding would be this long, difficult process. She shared this absolutely heartbreaking story about a man named Julius she met at the shelters. Get your tissues ready because this is emotional. She said his legs were covered in bandages from running to escape the fire. He told me he could feel his skin popping as he ran. He had to abandon his car because the tires were melting and just started running. And when she asked what he needed, his response gave me chills. Ma'am, I need nothing. My life is now my greatest gift. I have my life. But here's the thing. People are still divided about whether Oprah's help was genuine or just for show. Her devoted fans couldn't ignore how she and her billionaire friends seemed to benefit from this tragedy. It's like the disaster came with this shiny silver lining that matched their hefty bank accounts. And now with these recent LA fires, people are already speculating about which A-listers might profit from all this devastation. One thing's for sure. With all the scandals rocking Hollywood lately, it's hard to believe no celebrities are connected to this somehow. And that's all the tea I have for you today. Bye for now. Today.